Hello and welcome. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody can see the video. I've been fighting a little bit with Facebook and YouTube, but we'll get it all figured out. So are you one of the people out there who's thinking, live streaming sounds great, but I don't know what I do. I don't really think it'll work for me. This show is for you. I'm going to show you a bunch of different examples of people in different businesses working on different platforms who are live streaming. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes we need to see examples of how other people are doing things in order to get that idea to pop about how it's going to work for you. So I'm going to start the show and we are going to dive right in because we got a lot of good stuff to look at. Hang in there. Here we go. Hello, welcome. Just give me 1 second. I'm having a little bit of a feedback problem, so let me just solve that. Okay, that should solve the feedback problem. Sorry about that. So we are going to talk about a thing I hear a lot from people, which is live streaming sounds great, but I don't really think it'll work for me. I don't know what I talk about. I don't know what I do. I don't really think it works in my industry. I totally get that. Sometimes we need to see how other people are doing things before we can get that idea to pop for us about how we could do it for us. So I'm going to show you several different businesses on several different platforms. By platforms, I mean Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Amazon, that kind of thing, who are doing live streaming their own way in order to communicate to their audience, in order to expand their audience, and in some cases, in order to sell. A lot of people are selling online and making a ton at it. So we're going to look at a couple of different ways to do this. Just kind of let it wash over you, let the ideas start to pop into your head, because maybe this will help you understand what it is that live streaming can do for you. For those of you who are new, my name is Kathleen, and I'm here as your tech coach. Every week I bring a topic, but you are always welcome to jump into the chat and go ahead and ask your questions. That is all totally fine too. And hopefully that is working. And it looks like Mixer is working, so if nothing else, we know Mixer is working. Hello everybody, how you doing there? Hi Blue Susan, how you doing? My goodness, we've seen a lot of each other today, haven't we? Alrighty, so we are going to dive in on this puppy and get things rolling. Let me get this up. So we're going to look at a bunch of different ones now. I didn't actually test to make sure that the sound is going to work because frankly, the sound is not as important as the concepts that you will be able to see visually. So don't let that freak you out whether or not you see it. Now, some of the ones we're going to look at are actually live right this second. Okay. So anything can happen. That's one of the things about live. And some of the other ones are not live right now, so we can go and we can look at some VODs. So what that is video on demand, VOD. Video on demand is just a recording of the show that you did live. And we can talk about that too. All right? So hopefully, I do just want to check because I think we are having the YouTube problem again. Yes, we are having a problem on YouTube, and hopefully you folks on Facebook are finding it. So I put the link because Facebook is being helpful, and they are actually creating 2 links for my show. So this is why I'm offering people help. This is why I'm doing this, because I will say that staying up to date with the live streaming can be a bit of a challenge. I have figured out a way that I can do the hard part for you, so all you have to do is focus on your show. So you can either, I never picked the right side, you can either use the QR code, or you can go here if you want more information about that, but we can talk about that later too. All right, let's get this working. Yeah, I have no idea which is working for Facebook, but at least we've got the Mixer folks out there partying. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is on Twitch. And this is a creative person. He is a glass blower and he sells his art. But he does this also on Twitch. And what he does, let me just bring it right up for you, is he works on his art while streaming. And one of the things that he's doing as he's working on this stuff is he's answering questions. So if you look above my head here, this is the chat, right? I'll take me away for a minute here. So people, down here in the bottom can post their messages and ask questions, leave comments, that kind of stuff. People follow him. They're called subscribers there. And that means that they pay every month to get certain perks and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually another source of income from him in addition to his business. But as you can see, he's actively working on his art while he's talking to the folks. And all he can do is read their chat. So they're not voice talking to him. They are just typing into his chat, and then he's answering the questions as he goes along. But this is a very common thing for people to do who are any kind of artists, makers, those kinds of folks. Oh, there's a lot of 3D printer folks out there doing this kind of stuff. And it's a way for him to share his work, to give that behind the scenes kind of a peek, to say, you know, well, here, maybe you've never seen anybody do this. This is how I do it. And people can actually sometimes see their work, like if they've done a commission with him, they can see, you know, their work being created on the stream, or maybe he's just doing a project for fun. But whichever way he's choosing to do it, he is now doing this live. He does this on a regular basis. He's out there 3 to 4 times a week doing this for a couple of hours each time. And giving everybody an opportunity to either just watch and appreciate his art, to learn about how this kind of thing is done and what the possibilities are, and to commission him to do work or to buy work that he's already completed. So that is the first one. Now, to do a complete change of direction, this is Facebook, obviously, and this is the Michigan Job Fair Giant. I don't know why. I have a hard time saying that. So these folks, you know, this is probably very familiar, right? If you have a business of any kind, you probably have a Facebook page, a website, what have you. And, you know, it's got all the usual posted on here. But the other thing that they do is that they do live streams. Now I'm going to have to scroll down to find one. I literally was on this page an hour ago, and I just saw them all over the place. And now, of course, okay, so here, is this one? Yeah, this looks like one. Nope, that's a promotion. I literally found a bunch of them. Let me keep looking here. Let's look at videos. So they were live last on August. So this is, we're just going to jump in. And so this is a live stream that they did about a particular job fair that was coming up, where they explained to people what was going on, what they should bring, what type of people they're looking to hire at this job fair. And they probably, you know, asked, yep, people were able to chat here and interact with them. You see over here, she's got this little, I guess it's an iPad. It's some kind of a tablet, maybe a Surface Book, but it's something that she can use to keep an eye on chat, which is what I do. I have a screen over here to my right, which you can't really see right now, where I'm able to watch the comments that are coming up. So that way she's able to interact with people, to explain to them what to expect, what they need to bring, what the process will be for this particular job fair. So good information, completely different from the glass blower we just looked at, because the whole point of this is I want everybody to understand that it doesn't matter what it is that you do, what you're selling, okay, whether it's goods, it's services. People want to learn more, right? Because people are always curious about things that they're not doing themselves, right? And they also want to know what's going on, and maybe they don't, you know, they don't even know you exist, but somebody mentions to them that, hey, they saw this great live stream, they share the link, and that way you're expanding your audience. There's so many different possibilities here. And as you can see, just because we missed them, you know, we didn't happen to be doing this particular topic while they were live, we're still able to go in and see the VOD, right? The VOD, the video on demand. So even though we can't necessarily interact with them live, we still, like, I could still come in here and I could pop a question in, and I'm sure that they would come back to me sometime tomorrow with an answer, because they're keeping an eye on their comments. So just because we missed the live doesn't mean we missed out completely. We just missed out on part of the experience, but the video is still there for the people who want to come and catch it later. And you're still getting the feeling of what it was like while it was live. Live video has a completely different feel than anything recorded. There's just no way that you're going to create a recorded video that's going to have that spontaneity and that live feel to it. It's a lot like the difference between if you go to a movie, right, or you go to live theater. It's a completely different experience. Even if the story is exactly the same, it's a completely different experience. And that's what the benefit of live is it's far more engaging. It is trending. So all of the different platforms are paying more attention and pushing up in the views your live streams. But the video is still there too, so you're getting the best of both worlds, right? What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. All right, so now let's jump over to another one. So now we're going back to Twitch for no other reason than, like, I particularly like this particular streamer. Let's see if he's on. No, okay, so he's hosting somebody right now. So let me go back. So this person in particular, I'm fascinated by. He fixes analog watches live on stream. Now, that's always been a thing for me. Like, I've always had a thing about watches. So Susan is saying over in Mixer, oh, she liked the background for the folks with the big flowers, the ones who were doing the job fair. Yeah, that was a cool one. Like, that really stood out. And live absolutely has a different vibe than pre-recorded. Yep. That whatchamacallit Wanster is more likely to visit during live. Ah, yes. So this is what she's talking about. Oh, wait, I have to switch my screen here. So she's talking about my monster back here, who is actually not mine. This is something I bought from friends of ours. That is the Live Adrenaline Monster. The Live Adrenaline Monster is something that's going to happen while you're going live. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It is your friend. It is your foe. For some people, it's a foe because it stops them from doing this, which is a huge mistake. It can be your friend because it gives you energy. It boasts you up. Even if you have been dragging all day, when you know you're going live and you turn on that camera and that mic, your energy level's going up because you know there's stuff going on. So yes, that is why the Live Adrenaline Monster is always back there to remind me that even when I don't feel like I want to do this, I need to go do this, and that it will be okay because my energy is going to boost way up. Never fails. So yeah, so this guy is just all kinds of fascinating. So you see he's got 3 views here on the side. Now you don't have to do this. This is just a different way of doing things, right? And then he's got the overhead here, and then you can see what's going on. But he's doing all this, right? He's got this amount of detail. I'll just jump in a couple of times here. I've asked him about his setup. He's using webcams. He's using Logitech webcams, which is what I'm using here too. You guys may have seen on previous ones, right? So I have a desktop overhead one too, right? Say hi to Mixer. Hi, Mixer. Right? So it's essentially the same setup, but he's got, look at how clean and clear that picture is. And so you can really get in there and see the details of what he's doing. He's just swapping out something now. Look at how tiny that screw is, and yet we can see it. And if you can't see it on my screen, that's my fault, not his. If you go to his URL on Twitch, you can see just the amount of detail here. And he is unbelievably talented. And again, he answers questions, he offers advice as people are in his chat, all kinds of amazing stuff. Hi, Mixer. Absolutely. Gotta say hi to Mixer, right? Especially because I'm not really sure what is going on in the other worlds. I'm trying to make the other ones behave, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Right? You can totally see that tiny little screw that's sitting there, right? It's just right there. So right there. And then you can turn on things like closed captioning, which I should have grabbed a couple that I know have that, but I didn't. So that's just another example of the fact that you can do this. It does not have to cost you a fortune, okay? I mean, you can get Logitech cameras on sale all the times. It looks like he's trying to do closed captioning. It may or may not have been working well this particular day. But if you go back here, see, look at the close-up on this on just a Logitech camera. I mean, isn't that amazing? It blows my mind only because I work with these cameras. And it's like so cool. So like you can see the jewels here, you can see all the gears. Like I said, I'm just a geek about old school watches. They just fascinate me. So yeah, it's very, very cool stuff. So now we're going to change gears completely again. Okay, we're going to go back to Facebook and we're going to look at a friend of ours. This is Anne, and Anne does stamping. So she creates cards. And so her streams are a mix of how-to, like she will show people how to actually create cards, and she actually does sell things. So a couple of times a month, she'll sell like extra material that she's got or stuff that, she's got back stock on, and people in the chat, let me see if she's got one up here. Oh, this one she was actually doing a demo on how to do things. But when she's doing the other types of streams, she actually will show you like a stamp or some card stock or whatever. And then the people in the chat rooms, and she multi-streams. So she goes to Facebook and she goes to YouTube, and they then get to, say they get to claim it, right? And the first one in wins. And it's not always the first one in the chat that you're looking at because she's got multiple chats going. So she is definitely going. Anne is awesome, right? She is, I didn't even think about, thank you, Susan. I didn't even think about the pun of changing gears, but you're right. So yeah, so you can see she's got her stamp there, and she's showing like the technique of how to get the ink on it without flooding it. I only know these things now because I've been watching her streams. But she talks about all her different techniques and approaches. And like I said, she also does sell the materials. What do you think the odds are of me being able to find one of her sales? We'll take a quick look and see. Why didn't it take me back to Anne? Here we go. She involves her dog in it. Okay, Stamper is her dog, and he's sort of like the brand mascot. Can you do tacos here? No, I don't have tacos set up on Mixer. Sorry. I think you can just do points there, but I haven't set up all of the gambling stuff on Mixer yet. Let me just look real quick and see if I can find... Here we... was this a sale? Let me see if I can find one of her sales, because I'm so impressed with the way that she does her sales. Doing a sneak peek there. Any other time I would just be able to grab it. There's her code. Card ideas. Oh well. I probably zoomed right past one. Let me just look one more time, because she does a great job with her sales. These all look like demos though. Let's try this one. Let's see what this one is. She's got such energy. I don't, you can't hear the sound, right? Points, yeah. Let's just see. Yeah, now this is another demo. Oh well. If you go and you check out her stuff, you'll be able to see that she does amazing online sales too. So now we're going to change gears again. So this is another, we have to get through the ad. We'll wait for the ad. So the next one we're going to show is also from Twitch, and she is a fiber artist. And she does all kinds of stuff. She does crocheting and all kinds of other stuff. Oh, she was live. Okay, she's hosting somebody now. So you know what? We'll switch over to her videos too. So let's look here. This is actually the stream that she was on last night. And oh, they are still showing. I still have to sit through the ads. Everybody's showing ads now. Can't hear the sound. Okay, yeah. I didn't ask permission. I'm just showing you people that I like. I would have to get their permission before I could actually do the video with the sound and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is Hair. That's just the name she goes by online. Her brand is A Hair Affair, Hair being the bunny rabbit. And if you look up here in the corner, I don't know if you can make it out here, but she's got a little black and white bunny who's just all kinds of adorable. So she's a fiber artist. She does all kinds of amazing things. Right now she's working on a commission. If you look here, you see like this little Nintendo thing here. This is actually a blanket that she's working on. And she's done one before, so that's what the picture is here up on the right side. So she's here and she's showing how she's working on the commission. Actually, the person she's doing the commission for was in the chat. I was actually watching this last night. Yes, she's a bunny person, Susan, just like you. She just got the bunny, I want to say a couple months ago. Adorable, just unbelievably adorable little ball of fluff. So again, she does her thing, but she's showing it, but she'll stop. Like in the middle of whatever she's working on, she will stop if somebody has a question, wants to learn a technique. To be frank, she's taught me how to crochet. So years ago, my neighbor started to teach me. I learned a couple of things, like how to hold the hook and all that, but I never got any good at it. By hanging out with Hair and her community, and her community is fabulous, and that's the other thing, that's the other benefit that you'll get by live streaming, is you will build a community of people who make it a point to not only come and watch your streams, but to encourage other people to, and to welcome them into your streams, and to answer questions for you if you're busy with something else. I mean, it's amazing how things work. So she just comes in here, and she was doing all kinds of cool stuff. And she was showing exactly how to do things and answering questions for people about this stitch and that stitch and how you switch between the different yarns, which I've never attempted. But this particular one has got, what, 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 different colors of yarn going at once. I don't know. Let me see if I can find. So, and she's actually, as she's stitching this, let me see if I can find it real quick. So yeah, I don't know if you can see under the, here, she's going to move this. So she's actually spelling out select. So it's really going to look like a Nintendo controller. Like it's going to have the words on it and all the places and all that kind of stuff. And she's doing this as she goes. So this is not like this word that she's added here was not stitched on. It was stitched in. As she's doing the row, she's building all this kind of stuff out. So it's amazing. And she gets so many commissions that like she has to stop taking them for a while, that kind of stuff. But again, it's just another business. It's another approach. It's another way of doing things. Definitely something that any one of us could take and then apply to the work that we're doing. You know, if you stop and think about it, that's what I'm doing here, right? I'm live streaming for you, showing you this kind of stuff on Twitch. I'm your tech coach over on Twitch also. I do a lot of streams, like the behind the scenes kind of stuff as I'm like doing show prep and that kind of stuff. I'm going to start doing more of that over on Mixer. You know, doing like the editing for my pre-recorded videos, that kind of stuff. So there is no limit. There is I was going to say there's nothing you can't do on stream, but there is. So there are always terms of service, right? You can't do violence, you can't do nudity, you know, there's some practical things that you can't do. But other than that, as far as the work that you're doing, the work behind the scenes, how you go about doing your business, all of these things are things that you can share. And people love that kind of like behind the scenes kind of stuff. That's part of what they come for. But then as you're doing that and you're building your community, people will ask you questions. They'll ask for advice. They'll ask if you provide a particular service or good. You can explain how it all works. And it makes it a conversation, not sell, right? Because you're providing content, you're maybe just hanging out and talking for a little while, and then the questions will start to flow naturally about your business. People will be curious about what you do, how you do it, where you do it, and make it all part of the flow for you. All right, so we're going to keep going here. So now, again, we are going to, I'm purposely switching from different types of businesses in different places for a reason. I don't know why that came up. That's not what we wanted. Okay, so this is a company that Sue and I both know, called X Keys. So this is an X Keys. Okay, so this is what they sell. And they sell all kinds of different versions of this and for different purposes. Why did my little thing just popped out? Let me fix that because that's going to bother me. There we go. So this is so they do a couple of different kinds of show. They do a regular like half hour, 45-minute show, but then they also do on Friday just a quick 15 minutes. So this is, it's Dan, and I can't remember her name right now. Maggie, there we go. Maggie, boy, that was perfect timing. So this is the show that they do. And this actually was in prep because they were going to a convention that is happening right now. But they talk about their different stuff. They show you their setup. Of course, they have a very cool, amazing setup for their live streams, and they explain all the stuff out. They talk to you about the new tools that are coming out, the upgrades to the ones that you've got. They explain how you can use them. They show how different people use them in different environments. And he's a good example because he is one of the people who's like, well, nobody will want to see this. And we're all fascinated. Like, I never miss this. If I miss it, I go back and I watch the recording because that's how I do things. Because I learn so much from it. And you get ideas about not only how I can do my own show, but also how I can use my own X Keys. So it's a win-win for me. And it's, you know, they share where they've been and what's going on. They're hanging out with the vMix guys, which is the software I use. But it's a fun show. They do trivia sometimes. Sometimes it's just like game day and they just like hang out and to play a game. Sometimes they'll give away, you know, a free prize or something. And sometimes they do trivia about their tools or their company, you know, especially if they're getting ready to do a launch of something new. But again, completely different approach, right? We've got co-hosts here. They're bringing in the comments. They've got the comments from the side again. I can't remember. I think that they are multi-streaming. I think they're on Facebook and YouTube when they do this. Might be wrong. Maybe Sue knows. But again, it's just another way of doing it, another approach that totally works. Now, if you are more on the business side of things, you may have heard that LinkedIn has started to make live streaming a possibility. You have to apply for it. I've applied several times. I haven't gotten in yet. But just so you know that there are other places to go do this. So LinkedIn is one of them. And if you're curious about what the kinds of things are going on there, it took me a while to figure it out. They don't make it easy to find. But if you go to LinkedIn and sign in and put in the hashtag of live stream, one word, no spaces, then you can go in and you can see the kinds of content that is being live streamed here. So here's one, somebody's doing a thing about productivity and they were doing a giveaway. Here's one that's announcing a new suite of products. Let's see what else. BMW's doing something. Ooh, cool. I might have to go check that out. Something about the Frankfurt International Motor Show. And it looks like they were doing a live stream either there or about there. Here's another one. What are they doing here? Oh, okay. So they actually do video tours and studies for adult homes. So again, right, here's one that's focused on disability. Here's another one about shopping, e-shopping. Here's one about gaming. A ton, right? A metric ton of different ways, topics, varieties of content to do things. Let me see. So here's just, I'll bring you back here. So this is one that somebody was doing. So this was a lunch and learn that they provided about their products and services. Oh, they were actually talking to LiveView. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I know, BMW, right? Woohoo. I want to do, yeah, LinkedIn is one of the ones I want to get in on too. I'm going to keep applying until they let me in. Sooner or later, they'll let us all in. So this is another one. So this is an interview type show, right? So they've got sort of like a slideshow thing going. And then down here, you can see the three people who are talking. Probably one or two are doing the show. And then the others are, let me see. Okay, so Jim on the right in the orange shirt is doing the interview. And the other two folks are from LiveView, which is a piece of hardware. They have several different versions of it that lets you do live streaming, what they call IRL, in real life, without having to worry about losing your connection, that kind of stuff. A little pricey, but very, very cool. We know somebody who does a lot of that. So you can see, there's all kinds of content here. This ran about 10 minutes. So that's the other thing. People get very about the time. Now, yes, studies have shown that the sweet spot for doing a live stream is somewhere around 20 minutes or so. You can certainly go longer. I do all the time. You can certainly do some shorter, but if you're going to do the shorter ones, you're going to want to also, just because they're actually doing an unboxing here. But you can, if you're going to do short ones, you're going to want to mix in a few longer ones too, depending on the content, that type of thing. But this is a great way to, if you've got new product coming in. So if you think about it, if you are, so say you're a store owner, right? And you've got some new product coming in. When the new product comes in, you could do your own unboxing in the back room, right? And show people the new product and explain, why you're selling it and focus in on some of the features and let them know when it's going to be available for sale. Like, again, this is really just about looking at your business, thinking about the information that you would want people to know, right? Or the questions that they ask most often. And that is where your content will come from. It really does flow pretty easily. Of course, if you do want help with your content, you can always go and I've got 130 content ideas in a free ebook. So you just sign up for the mailing list. You go to yourtechcoach.net/content ideas. And there you go. If you're struggling with content ideas for social, for blogs, for videos, for live streams, 130 ideas that you can put to work for you. So no more excuses. You can totally do this. Whoops. Make that go away. All right, so we're going to look at just a couple more real quick. Now, you may not have heard about this, but Amazon has been doing this, and of course, are they not live? They were live a few minutes ago. Let me just refresh this. Let's see if anybody's live. So what Amazon is doing is they are giving their vendors, right, the people who sell stuff through them, either the stuff that they sell or third-party stuff, the opportunity to come in and do the sales. I can't really tell. Can't tell right now if this is live or not. Here's one that's live. Okay, so you see when you come down here, you can see which ones are live, and then you can go back and you can see the ones that were done earlier. So let's see. Yeah, I want to move better. So let's see. I don't know why this is here. Go away. No, go away. All this, I don't know why this extra stuff is here. So they've got a little chat here. They're doing a demo. They've got a little sell area down here. Now, this may not be an option for all of us. Again, I think Amazon is still on an invite-only process, but it does give you another way to look at this kind of stuff. So let's just go back and see what else we've got. Deal of the day. I have no idea what this is. Let's roll the dice. Okay, so it's a product demo, and it looks like they're having sales on certain stuff. So they're just making that available. I mean, this is all going to be about product stuff, right? It's Amazon after all. Now, there's one more I'm going to show you, just because I want to show you that you don't have to be locked in. So yes, we're businesses, right? So we're going to be live streaming. Most of the stuff should be centered around our businesses. It should be focused on that kind of stuff. Oh, thank you, Susan. I saw the link there, but I have dark mode turned on, so it was blue text on a dark background. I couldn't quite see it right away, but thank you very much for that. I'm glad you grabbed the ebook. So just because, you're going to be doing your business and you want most of your content to be focused on that, but, in a conversational way, you could do some demos, you could do some behind the scenes stuff, you could do sort of a Q&A kind of thing, but it's okay to branch out too. And I'm going to do this. I did check with her to see that this was okay. So the person I showed you before, a hair affair, has been branching out a little bit lately and doing cooking streams with a friend of hers. So Pretty Good Cooking is not her brand, it's somebody else's brand, but it's something else. It's another skill that she has. It's something else she enjoys doing. So you can mix it up. Like, you can be human on your live streams and, I try to encourage like an 80-20 rule. So if you're going to mix it up, make sure that 80% of it is focused on your business, because that's what people are coming for. But show them you're human. You know, I mean, hey, look, full disclosure. All right, I do crocheting ones sometimes, because now that Harris taught me how to crochet, I hang out and do crochet. Because for me, it's kind of like gaming. Sometimes I'll do gaming. Not because I'm a good gamer. I don't crochet because I'm a good crocheter. I do it because I'm not good at it, right? And so some people are going to find that funny. Some people are going to not, you know, kind of maybe take it as inspiration to maybe try something themselves. But I was hoping that Hare would be on camera. She was on camera when I was looking before. We'll see if she comes back before I'm done. Oh, wait. Is she... The dogs are hanging out. So yeah, so this is a very social thing. So what's happening on that one is, well, actually I should leave it up while I talk about it. So let's just talk about the technology behind this, right? They're doing this from their phone. That's the technology behind it. Okay, thanks very much. Good night. It's really that simple. This is not something that requires a fortune in hardware and software and all that kind of stuff. Now, yes, of course, whatever you can throw at it will make it that much better, but this is not bad looking, right? They've got their overlays, must be part of whatever tool they're using, and this is just a phone, and that's why it's moving around the way it is. So one of the people who's not going to be on camera, right, but you'll probably hear him talking, you know, if you go and watch this, is just focusing the camera around wherever it needs to go, and he's just literally walking behind them and showing you the different shots, which is just another way to do this. This does not have to cost a fortune. I think he's using a phone, and I think he does have a tripod, which I should have grabbed one of. Of course, I never have one here when I need one. But, you know, you can get a tripod for, or even a selfie stick. You can get them for, what, $10? And that's all they're doing. So he already had his phone, and maybe he spent $10 on a selfie stick. That's it. It doesn't cost you any money to stream. It doesn't cost you, you know, any money to have the account. You're not paying for the bandwidth other than, you know, they are on Wi-Fi. That is the one thing. If you're going to do it from your phone, understand that if you're doing it mobile, it's going to chew through your bandwidth pretty quickly. But if you're doing this over Wi-Fi, you've got a phone, make sure your lights are good, and that's all you need to get started. And by the lights are good, I just mean make sure you have lights turned on. It can really be that simple. You do not have to stress over this. I know the puppies are so cute. What was it? It wasn't last night. It was maybe last Friday. She did a recipe that somebody had found, and she saw a copy of online. It was found in a church that they think that the recipe is like, you know, 100 years old or so. And it was hard to read and all that kind of stuff. So she muddled through with some kind of a cake, a Polish cake. She'd never tried it before. She did it live. And we got to see a lot of Tula because they did it at her place. Right now they're at somebody else's home. But this is what they do. You know, it's another way for her to be creative. It's another way for her to reach out to her audience. She has a lot of people in her community that like to cook. I'm one of those people. You know, I cook by making reservations at a restaurant or having food delivered. But I enjoy watching other people do this. So it's just limited by what you want to do. And you don't have to do all of it to start. You pick a couple of things. Baby step your way through this. Don't stress out over it, but you do need to be doing this. So, no matter what your business is, no matter whether or not you think anybody's interested in it, I can guarantee that somebody will be interested in it. Because we all like to see things that are different for us, right? You know, I'm not particularly, you know, interested in, you know, like live streaming content, user interface content, because that's my day job, right? User experience is my day gig. But I do watch a couple of content, but really most of the content I watch is outside of my own area because I'm curious about how other people work, about other people's skills, other people's areas of interest. And that's why I go and I watch. And there are ones that I watch on a regular basis. There are ones that I jump in and watch. I've recently found some people who are doing like theatrical makeup online, which is fascinating to me. If you think about things like The Lion King or whatever, you know, the amount of work that goes into it, but you know, they're doing that every night. So obviously they can't spend hours on it. And these people show the different techniques and what you can do with it. So there is all kinds of content out there. You should be a part of that content out there because you will then expand your audience. You will then be seen as approachable and people will start to share your content for you, which is the best of all worlds for us, right? And with Small Business Saturday coming up, you definitely want to jump in and start doing this. If you are overwhelmed by the idea of trying to do this alone, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to. So if you go to, I do it the wrong side every time, click on the QR, snap the QR code, or you can go to this link, yourtechcoach.net/one-click live streaming. Literally, if you have a phone or a laptop or something like that, that has a webcam, whether it's an add-on or it's built in, you can live stream and I can take care of everything except the content. You just need to do the content. I will send you a link, literally, a link that you click on, and then you can go live. And I will help you. I will coach you through it. What we would do is we would get on beforehand, like 15, 20 minutes beforehand, test everything out, make sure your mic is working, make sure that your camera is good, go through your content, outline again. And then if you want things like, overlays, lower thirds, right? If you want to put some sort of logo or something on the screen, I can handle all that for you so you can just concentrate on your content. And literally, you could be starting to go live within 24, 48 hours of our conversation. So if you go to the link, you can go and you can schedule a consultation, because we do need to talk. We need to test a few things out to make sure that it's going to work wherever it is that you want to live stream. So I have a calendar on there. Actually, I can show you. So if you go to the link, get that off of here. Okay, and then you come to, you can read more about it. I give you more information, but you go right here. We don't have to play the scheduling game, okay? You go in here, you pick your day and time that you want to have the conversation. The conversation will probably take us a half hour, 45 minutes. Pick your day, time, let me know who you are, what's your email address, so that I can send you the invite link, and we can dive in and we can have the conversation. Literally in 24 to 48 hours, you can start going live. The other benefit of this is that I will give you a local recording. So when like right now I'm live streaming to 3 places. I'm going to Facebook, hopefully, YouTube, hopefully, and Mixer for sure. I'm also creating a local copy. So that way I can take this content and I can repurpose it. I can cut it up and make little, videos that I can put on Instagram. You will also get that as a part of the work that we do together. So think about it. Reach out. If nothing else, have the consultation. It's free. We can have the conversation. We can test your setup and make sure it's going to work. And then we can take it from there. All right? So let me just double check here. There's lots going on here. Oh, you like to cook? I don't know if you want to bring anybody to your kitchen. It's very off your topic, but that's the point. So, we were in classes together. This is what she's talking about when she says live streams, right? So Hare's thing is not cooking, but every once in a while, she'll do one stream like that just for something different, a little bit of different content, because she streams the crochet thing at least 3 times a week, sometimes more. So this just gives her audience some other content to come and check out. And frankly, we had this conversation. She finds that sometimes the people who find her cooking stream are then curious in her crochet. So the same thing could work for you. You could do a cooking stream and people could then be interested in your marketing help. It's all about just reaching out and being you and showing all the things that you do, being a human being and being approachable is really what it comes down to. Giving somebody a connection point. So maybe they don't know that you're available to help them with marketing, but they're interested in cooking. So they're making a connection with you. And once they've made that connection and they feel comfortable with you, and then they learn about the other things that you do, they might be more likely to reach out to you that way. That's just, if you think about it, that's kind of word of mouth referral kind of thing, right? Somebody that they trust, that they have something in common with, if they know about you, can recommend you. You're kind of doing that yourself by putting this other content out there. But I do believe that 80-20 is probably the most you would want to do. Probably 90-10 might be even better for those of us who are in, some other areas, some more of the hardcore business kind of stuff. But there's nothing wrong with having those other things, taking your dog for a walk, being out in the park. You go for the rides, out on the bike. That kind of stuff could reach an audience that might not find you any other way. It might give them a connection point that they might not have found any other way. And that's half the battle, right? Because you have to make that connection in order for them to reach out to you for the help that you offer or for the goods or services that you offer. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, live streams, that's it. No worries. That's all part of the service here. So hopefully this has sparked some ideas from you folks who maybe didn't feel like this would work for you. I promise you that it can. I can't think of an industry where it would, to be honest. I have tried. Like I very so often I'll been walking around going, well, okay, yeah, they could live stream this, and this one could live stream that, and so I have yet to find anybody who can't. Yeah, maybe you'll be the one. But regardless, you can feel free, reach out. We can have the conversation if you're curious about it. There is absolutely no pressure. There's no cost for the consultation. We can test drive it and see if it works for you. Kick the idea around. All right. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. I hope that this has been helpful. I will see you again next Thursday. For those of you who are interested in checking out the other platforms, I will be on Twitch around 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. I'm your tech coach also over there. And of course, I'm also on Mixer, and I'm your tech coach there. So if you'd like to try something different than the platform you are on right now, feel free to come out and visit. If you're looking for advice, everybody who's hanging out with me will have plenty of ideas of other streamers for you to go and check out. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're having a great day, and we will talk again soon. Bye.